It's been a while since I've done a my favorite movies movie review thing. And it's just because I don't know, just hadn't done it. But today we're going to change all that. We're going to talk today about Shaun of the Dead. If you've been around the channel for any length of time, you might know that horror movies aren't exactly my favorite genre of film, and that's mainly because most of them are on the lower side of the budget. And when you have a lower budget movie, a lot of times you don't pay attention as much to character or story or even some of the technical things that I really look for in a movie that I really enjoy watching. But Edgar Wright changed all that. He started doing his own sort of, I guess, tribute to a bunch of different genres of film when he made Spaced. If you haven't seen Spaced, check it out. Seriously, check this show out. This came out, in 2000, I believe. So a few years before Shaun of the Dead did. And I'm serious. If you love Shaun of the Dead and the rest of the Cornetto trilogy, which includes Hot Fuzz and The World's End, if you're a fan of any of those movies, you need to check out Spaced. It's amazing. But we're not here to talk about the Cornetto trilogy or Spaced, even though I love all of those movies and the series, of course, it's amazing. But no, we're here to talk about Shaun of the Dead because it's what made me an Edgar Wright fan. It made me realize that this is a guy that no matter what he does from here on out, I'm interested in what he's going to do. It also introduced me to Simon Pegg, and Simon Pegg has been one of those actors that I just want to see what he does. He, brings his own, I guess, fun charisma, to everything that he does, even in movies that maybe aren't so good, but he's good in them. The thing about this movie is that it ticked all the boxes, I mean, it starts off and I'm immediately drawn to Shaun, the character. Shaun, I like the character of Shaun. I think he's funny. I think he's witty. I want to follow this guy until the end. And of course, you meet all the different characters that he exchanges with throughout the movie. It's great. It's a great movie, and I'm being intentionally vague for those of you who may not have checked out this movie from 2004. It's not really that old. It's going to celebrate its 20-year anniversary next year, which is insane to think about. But yeah, I got to see this in the theater on the first run with my wife, and we both just fell in love with it. We loved it. And yeah, it's made us a fan of everything that these guys do. Sometimes when you have movies that you blend two genres together, one or the other just don't really work very well. It's just that's the way it goes sometimes. But I got to tell you, the comedy in Shaun of the Dead is hilarious. It's really, really funny. But on top of that, the horror elements are actually really scary. And some of the gore is actually quite shocking for, I don't know. I enjoy every element of this movie, including, like I said, the cast, the way that things are shot, the way that things are edited. Edgar Wright's style is something that I've enjoyed, well, since this movie and continue to enjoy to this day. The weird thing about Edgar Wright though is that he's one of those guys that he's been really hit or miss for me ever since he stopped collaborating, with every movie with Simon Pegg. The only movie of his that I would say really is right up there with I guess, the Cornetto trilogy would be Scott Pilgrim. I loved this movie, and it completely is perfect. It's just perfect for Edgar Wright's style. But it's just the other movies. You've got Baby Driver. You've got Last Night in Soho. Both of those felt rather cold to me. Not exactly what I look for in an Edgar Wright movie. I will say though that the fake trailer that he made for Grindhouse called Don't, hilarious, and I loved it, and I kind of want a full movie of that. Is that weird? I don't know, but I want it.
Don't.
The great thing about this movie too is just how quotable it is. I mean, you don't know how many times over the last almost 20 years that my wife and I have to each other gone, Pete, because he's checking on his flatmate upstairs, thinks he might be a zombie. Oh wait, don't say the Z word. Trust me, it's very quotable. Now you might be wondering, I mean, Rob, why Shaun of the Dead? I mean, yeah, it's good, but does it deserve to be up there in your favorite movies of all time? Absolutely it does. In fact, there were many times where it would make it into my top 5, which my top 5 change a lot, over time. Some, like, for example, sometimes Raiders of the Lost Ark and Jaws they kind of change places every now and then. Like, I go, I think Jaws is better. I think Raiders is better. It just depends on my mood. But trust me, one day I'll tell you my top 5. It's not that interesting though. It's really just a bunch of really great movies. But yeah, Shaun of the Dead is up there. It seriously is to me, one of the most rewatchable movies ever. So, Shaun of the Dead, do you agree with me? Do you think that this is one of the best movies of all time, like me? I mean, it's more about favorite movies, right? It's favorite movies. They don't have to be the best movies of all time. But yeah, what do you think of Shaun of the Dead and the rest of Edgar Wright's filmography? Let's talk about it in the comment section below. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.